Hello there. Um, Welcome to Rage Across the 90s. Set in the 90s. Yeah. Um, we're joined again with Miss Artemi Alexandros, who, after a bit of celebrating, a bit of organizing, she's finally come down the stairs in the pack house, kind of just tiptoeing. Um, just in a very overextended shirt. Her hair's kind of a bit everywhere. The braids are kind of just up, left, down, right. It's kind of, they're no longer the nice formalities. Um, she's kind of made herself a bit of food, probably made some extra. She picks up the extra food with her and goes looking at the barn, anywhere around the house. She kind of just snoops like Featherlight, sticks her head in the door. No, she's not there. Firelight, no, not there. I could pulse the prey this, but I'm too lazy. Firelight, Firelight, Firelight. You know,
Just love the idea of big ass Amazon Artemi like gopher head like just poking her head into room after room after room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Artemi gets to prairie dog her way through the entire house without luck. Because really now, unless she's hanging out with Artemi or David, what in the world would Featherlight even be doing in the house? Besides stealing food. She does that a lot. She could hunt down her own. But
So, with no sign of the Featherlight, Timmy just goes to the back door to where the kitchen is. With those nice little kebab things that Fairlight totally admits that she doesn't like, but then totally eats them every 5 minutes and, always asks her Timmy to make them. She just puts one down on the plate, then backs them up, one down, backs it up, another down, another down.
into the house?
Mm-hmm.
Leaving the door open and everything.
Yep. Just step by step till she gets to the foot of the stairs and places the last one at the top of the stairs and then places one outside her room. But actually, no, not outside her room, outside the living room. And just sits and pours herself a drink.
So even Featherlight can't be mad at this tactic. Especially not when it's food that she very much likes. The beautiful irony being that Featherlight would absolutely, without hesitation, eat this shit off the floor. But Artemi, being a conscientious person, probably has not just plunked them down right on the floor where they'll stay on like the floor of the carpet. So there's like a plate every 5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Making it an extremely visible trail to follow.
Yep.
So once the breeze has had a moment to catch the scent of it and carry it, sure enough, there comes a creaking from the barn as the door eases open. And the familiar kind of slithering shuffle of Featherlight emerging. Probably not in Hamid, because fuck you. And finally, the protesting creak of the porch as she, let's face it, probably has to shift halfway over the rail to keep it from collapsing. And yeah, just one by one, snags up the first, just puts it across her mouth and her teeth. And it's not that she's stupid, it's just that nope, you know what? I'm game for this. And so she goes along.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, just for fun, just to see if the tease will work. She, the first one is just outside the door, so she crouches down there. And nibbles her way through that one first, just to see if it's got to be Artemi. No one else uses kebabs. Loses her patience, and finally, I don't know, spear tackles her or something.
No.
The result is
Artemi's just sitting there, staring at the living room, just like on her, it's like, well, the camera pans over as just Artemi going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It takes over and 6, 7, 8. You know what I mean? She's just sitting there waiting,
counting it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she'll take her time eating the first one because kebabs. No matter how much she pretends that she doesn't care for them any more or any less than anything else, she eats the fuck out of that kebab. If she finally does, she won't do it to our Timmy, as much as fun as it is for her to flex by leaving things around. No, she snags up the plate, continues inward, does close the door because otherwise David will yell about how we're not paying to cool the whole outdoors. Or just bumps it with a heel. You hear the dunk. And she patters in, picks up a plate. Yes. Patters a little further, picks up a plate, transfers the kebab onto the first one. And just by time she comes into the living room and clambers over the back of the couch to come next door to me, she's holding what, like 6 or 7 plates in a stack with 6 or 7 kebabs on top. She just clambers over, balancing the lot in a palm. Finally, just plunks the whole, little pile in her lap, looking over at our Timmy. Yeah. David will be furious when there are so many dishes. A little smile.
Oh, well, that's a shame. We'll just, we'll get Alexandra to clean it. Silver fangs are quite messy.
She will meditate on this while nibbling at one of the kebabs. Pretty much. I get the impression you wanted my attention. A little smile aside, like, oh, you.
Just wanted to see how you are. Took a nasty hit.
Several. Most were kind of brushes over a bit of her. It kind of pauses between nibbles and like kind of rubs a bit over her cheeks, kind of like sunburn style, because I imagine the radiation burn was kind of just a blast that baked the skin. Albeit she's been put together, but I imagine there's still like that little bit of pinkness in the wake of it healing. Most is fairly inconsequential. Oh, some of it was very interesting. Not what I expected.
That's at least something.
But no, I am home. That's are you?
Yeah, she's like probably has like the same bit of pinkish tint. She only took one bit of the radiation damage, so I imagine it's kind of like burned along the like her neck or something. You can just see like bits of it, but again, very pinkish skin. She looks pretty put together, pretty well. This is not my first time taking down something that is a corruption of the enemy. We Furies are trained to endure pain such as that. So, I'm fine.
She does, with the same hand, reach over, and it's, that little back of the knuckle rub on the cheek. Very gentle brush.
It's, we've dealt with a lot of stuff that was corrupted the wild, so it's kind of business as usual for me, if anything. She looks over, it's very easygoing, she looks very satiated. Look, she's quite happy with herself. Like they did a righteous thing. They purged something that was corrupting the wild, She's quite happy with herself.
We did. And with any luck, the binding succeeded and it can eventually be properly purged and released as it was meant to be.
She just nods. These things will take time. I was just making sure that you're all right. That's all. We lost a fair bit of people. Some of them were people we won't mourn. It's still a hell of a thing. And to see one of your own pure tribes, while she may not be your tribe, she was still a younger brother to you in such a grievous state. I imagine it did have some sort of an effect, especially since she was lupus born.
Little brother feels their losses very deeply. They always have.
Well,
Oh, God forbid. There's the tiniest twinge of what might be sympathy.
it's that's all I wanted to check on you.
It is a shame to see little sister aching. But there is no restoring those who have gone home.
I imagine not.
But all of us are here. She'll be well looked after.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame that we could not leave her something to wreak vengeance on. It would have helped.
There's plenty of things to do. I imagine we'll find something for her.
Yeah, maybe. But little brother, she does glance over, has a keen taste for vengeance on those who harm the people they care about. Not being able to take vengeance directly on the source of her pain will make the healing longer than it might be. Though there was the other voice, perhaps. Kind of tips the head thoughtfully. Perhaps.
A nod.
Hmm.
Just picks up one of the kebabs and just takes a big bite out of it.
Yeah, she continues to kind of nibble between talking as she thinks. Just a constant. She's not at risk of not getting food, so she doesn't need to bolt it. Oh, she nibbles because it lasts a little longer that way. Yes.
Artemia also pours you more of that Cyprian wine.
Ooh. She will take the wine.
Or Artemia even makes the ooh. Do you know what I mean?
Damn you. Don't make Featherlight smile. It upsets people. But there is still the amused smile. Just so. Because ooh. She can't pretend she's utterly unable of feeling. Not compared to that. Jesus.
Well, at least we lost none of our own, which is it's always a bonus.
Hmm?
None of our own pack. At least we lost none of them.
No, but I see that David has expended his gift.
He is mentioning that the Morgan will try and offer a deal to us.
No, she.
Mm-hmm.
No, wouldn't that be bold? Just look over like, yes, Fiona Spirit, offer me a deal.
She can offer what she likes. She has no claimage over to me, even if she thinks she does. Did you feel good seeing your mother's pack?
It's finally glanced the hole.
You had mentioned that's who you reached out to, so
It is.
did you did it feel good?
There's like that moment of like, I don't want to say, but you're our Timmy. But I don't want to admit it, but you are our Timmy. But after some stalling by nibbling, Finally does glance aside again. Yeah.
Good. Just nods and clinks your glass off hers.
She's admittedly bemused. It's like, all right, I'll give you. Let's see. Jesus, that easy, huh? Okay. You can tell. It's funny how Artemi kind of always has a knack for setting her kind of off kilter. But yes, of course, it was good to see my mother's pack. I've not seen them since I was, well, not for a while.
Oh, that is, I'm glad to hear it.
There are fewer than there once were, which is a shame.
Well, that's the Ekuru life, unfortunately.
Yes.
But I'm glad that at least you got to spend some time with them.
I did. And contrary to popular belief, it did please me a great deal.
I bet it did.
Of course, they will be staying to ensure that what needs doing is done.
Not. Well, it gives that, like, well, it makes sense.
Although it does make me regret that eventually we'll have to leave if we wish to solve the root of the problem.
And I planned on it. Layla is up by Wyoming, which is close to Yellowstone, so I plan on regrouping with my sisters there and tackling the problem. Eventually, when battles are settled here, of course, you know. Can't leave too many loose ends. Plus, I have to range travel for Alexios and Phoebe. Oh,
There's a nope wine sip. No,
oh,
see you trying to find my feelings. How dare you? Just because it makes me happy. It seems a shame to have to, well, admittedly due to circumstance, move on as soon as things are finally coming together. How unfortunate is it to have to call in the people to whom you have the closest ties only to walk away?
this is walking away if you're protecting them.
I did not say it was not for a good reason.
True, but I don't see it as something to be sad for. We all have a purpose in life, and to be able to march forward to fight the thing that they are all worried about just as much as you, I think, if anything, it's, I don't know, it fills me with a lot more purpose than sadness.
Do you think we are suited to the task?
Is anybody? I don't think anybody can be suited to a task. It's just a matter of finding the courage to do it.
You're letting your cleverness show more.
What do you mean?
Sip.
What do you mean?
Having the gall to answer my question with a question. This faint smile, like I see you.
Having the gall.
The gall.
This guy raises an eyebrow.
Most only do it to be evasive. You're doing it to make a point.
Well, we've mostly dealing with Shadow Lords, so, maybe you've just gotten so used to evasion.
Yes, I suppose so. Or at least
No.
it keeps it fun.
True, but I don't know. Some Shadow Lords are decent, and same as the Fenrir, but I don't know. Maybe I'm more excited, if anything.
I'm excited.
I mean, I'll do my diligence and assist the Sept however I need to, but eventually I will relinquish my Wormfolk position and I will pick up my weapons and go to the wild and defend it. It's an exciting thing to see my sisters again. You're surrounded by your people, David's surrounded by his, Jacqueline's surrounded by hers, and Alexandra even has a touch of her own. But I have not seen another Fury in a long time.
No, you haven't.
So I'm excited.
Of course you are. Reaches over and again, it's the weird little rub, the brush of the back of the knuckles. Like, of course.
Plus, we'll be out there, actually in the wild and in the thick of it, solving the problem. There's a certain thrill in that, you know?
It would be good to feel like we were accomplishing something without being fought every step of the way.
Exactly. It's adventure for the line.
It's more like crook at the corner of the mouth. Adventure excites you, doesn't it?
Of course. That's what the wild is. A dangerous adventure.
It never ceases to amaze me how you change so much and yet stay the same.
This place has left a couple of wounds on me, but I'm done letting people try and tell me who I've been and who I will be.
I feel as though it was a very bold thing to do to begin with.
I just did not have the experience and the hindsight to see it, but I've seen it now, and it won't happen again.
I don't think that they appreciate the raw potential that comes with being so tied too close to the wild. Or so close to the wild, not too close. My bad. So, it gives her the little chin tweak like, I see you. I see you.
Most seem to underestimate me in this place till they're beneath my heel.
Most people see the wild as something that should be worn into their parameters and their strictures and their way of understanding. And they don't appreciate that it is, by definition, raw potential.
That sounds like the Weaver to me. That's what they seem to perceive it as. Their Weaver mindset. Some of them used to call it the Weaver mindset. All about control.
Very much is. The idea that everything has to be defined in a way that you can understand.
How do you think the others will fare out there? I imagine David's going to say he's going to come with me. Jacqueline's going to follow me. How do you think they're going to manage?
And she finally just, plucks one of the pieces of meat off the kebabs, tosses it in her mouth, chews it for a minute, just kind of to ruminate.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, yeah. It is. She loves it. She pretends that it's, it's no big deal, but she loves it. So, yeah, she, pops one of the cubed pieces of meat into her mouth, chews on it, thinks about it for a moment. David is more adaptable than he lets on. He's very, very stubborn and lends to great adaptability. Odd oxymoron. But I think that if he decides to go and to flourish, then he will go and he will flourish. I do wonder how Jacqueline will fare in a place where they're less hospitable to her people. There are no games to play. There's no one to listen. There's no one to be tricked or trapped.
There are games among our tribe, but they're very different.
They're not games she knows how to play. Did she not wax poetic about how this place was so important to her? Don't you think she would stay?
She wants to follow me, apparently. She wants to walk the wild with me.
Does she? Or did she just want to make you smile by saying so?
She gives a spread of her hands. We'll see, won't we? It's very it's not like she's leaning, assuming what it's the very matter of fact is, well, we'll see, won't we? You know what I mean? So, she's not angry about it. It's just it's odd for her to me. It's very well, we'll see what happens, won't we? Either she will or she won't.
It is very balanced for Timmy, because if that notion that it could be the opposite might have angered her in the past, now it's just, well, I guess we'll fucking see.
Pretty much, yeah. She'll, of course, you can see the Arun, of course, has an opinion, but she's opting with the attitude, well, you know what, we'll see what happens.
There's no telling how she'll fare until we see it in real time. Perhaps getting away from the influences will change her. Or perhaps she will just turn out to be a chameleon. We'll see.
I think it would unsettle me more if she was chameleon-like.
The same thing down at the core, pretending to be something else.
Yes, I don't think I would like that very much, if I'm being honest.
No, change will be required. We'll see whether it is real or not.
That's a good point.
Are you not worried about the things that we would leave unfinished here?
Well, I'll handle them to the best of my abilities and ensure that whoever is taking over the reins is full abreast of the situation and can act. If I was to spend worrying about my time, I would never go anywhere. I would just be stuck. And sometimes you have to learn to delegate and balance out between a healthy sept. And that's what we've managed to create now with our actions, so it's time to stop self-doubting and time to push.
You're very driven.
I have to be.
It is a good thing.
Oh, well, you gotta give us a little bash, like, oh, well, you know.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks.
Why you gotta do that to me? Being driven gets things done, and there are great, far greater things to do than to look over this place or hunt down someone who likes to play games using a mailbox.
Oh, don't you worry. He is the first thing on my list. After all, we have a name of one of the people. I will be pulsing him, and then we'll go ask a few questions.
Come with you.
And of course, I wouldn't be going out without a whole pack.
Just the oh, thanks.
Thanks.
Good.
No, we're going to go in and we're going to hit them hard. And we're going to hit them fast and bleed them dry.
You were talking about the one who got a hold of the bird, yes? That name?
Yes.
Yes.
Give a
I'd
name.
very much like to be present.
Well, we're going to need to, so it's better to have a unified front doing it. Rather than just faff about. I'm also going to have to deal with the Jacqueline Shadowlord companion, but I'll deal with that with the back of my hand.
Yeah, there's a side glance, like, oh, really? Ooh.
Well, if he lips off, I'm the Adrian, he's the Foster. I'm the Wormfoe, he's a soldier. Respect the title or challenge me. He'll lose.
Yes. Yes, he will.
Good. And I'll rub his face in the dirt to remind him. I think that's a fitting humiliation for an arrogant Shadow Lord. But I ain't gonna waste my time talking about how much bigger my dick is than his.
think he'll be shocked and offended. There's a bit of a smile.
Only if he pushes me. I kind of learned a few things about how to handle things from now on.
No.
I used to worry that if I could handle things like Layla, I would be, over violent and stuff. But I've learned to co-balance my own ideals of tolerance and temperance with Layla's own vindicative temperament, and I've learned to try and be a co-balance of the two methods. And to be honest, I'm done letting people speak for me when I want to say something. So I will act, whether that is to verbally collect my throat or physically put my hands around it. But I'm just having a zero tolerance policy for any of that good talk shit and secrets these days.
As much as I delight in secrets, there is a time and a place for keeping them or telling them.
Secrets should be kept from the worm, from your pack.
Secrets do have their purpose, Artemio. You can just reach over and it's a little touch at the shoulder, though not more than that. Just the hey connection, just briefly. Even spirits take secrets in trade. Secrets have their place, usually to protect those around the person keeping the secret, or perhaps to protect a whole nother people, or protect the bearer. Secrets have a place.
Not from what I have seen.
Secrets kept out of selfishness, out of dishonesty. That's a different animal. Some secrets are kept for good reason.
Or perceived good reasoning.
Oh, the trick is knowing the difference between what seems like a very good reason. Just listen, she actually, God help her, picks up a hand to make the little air quote, seems like a very good reason. And something that will actually be kept to prevent harm.
I just hope David doesn't take offense when I tell him that out there in the wild, it's all well and good. It's this, that. But they're going to look at me initially, not him. You know?
I think David has the sense in self-preservation to appreciate necessity.
Just change of pace, you know what I'm saying?
I think he would be more upset if they spoke to Jacqueline first. Quick with a smile.
If Jacqueline lips off to Layla will cut her tongue out.
Very efficient.
She does not take any insults lightly from Shadow Lords. Something I've become to learn to appreciate.
And it will be interesting to see how the change of pace changes the dynamic. Though it will be nice to be back in our element.
Well, what are you worried about?
Just glance over like that. I see you. I see you.
Hmm?
She's like, why? What are you worried about? She's like, I see you.
I'm worried.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm worried?
It kind of gives the. It's the first sassy look Artemia has ever given Featherlight. You know what I mean? Like, it's a split second where, Featherlight, she's like, did she just look at me sassily? You know what I mean?
Oh, did you make the sassy face?
Well, she just starts with, well. Do you know what I mean? Considering the certain implications you've had towards certain members of this pack and certain arguments that have come up a lot.
I'm not the one who should be worried.
No, but you are insinuating, Featherlight.
It will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They will either adapt or they will fall behind.
Is that what you're worried about?
Why would I concern myself with something that would fall behind?
If it results in the compromising of those who would keep moving forward, I think you'd worry about it. Sometimes those who fall behind leave a significant mess and can result in damage going all around.
I don't credit those weak enough to fall behind with that kind of power.
No, I think you do. You just play it off like you don't. She gives a smirk over.
That's just the for just a moment, just the how dare. I am not concerned with damage that can be done. I am not worried for people who have not earned my sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
I can function with a pack. But that does not mean that I have to agree with or support their personal tendencies.
Just a slow nod, like, yeah, no, you're right.
But for you, I would move a mountain. A faint smile, because I technically moved a mountain. In the most hilariously literal way.
Spark on her face, like, I see what you did.
Yeah, that thing I did with the start of that battle, I moved a mountain. I did it. I got to use this metaphor unironically. She's very proud of herself for what it's worth. She doesn't quite have it in her to look like, oh no, yes she does. To look just that little bit smug. Just like, yes, to move a mountain. Yeah, sips wine. No, it did go better than I expected. There's finally an idle like scratch at the back of her jaw. The kebabs are fucking gone. They've been like slowly but steadily inhaled. So she kind of scratches at the corner of her jaw, like, come to think of it, that actually did go very well.
we actually were organized.
It is amazing how communication does make a difference, isn't it?
You'd be surprised what competent people are capable of.
No, I wouldn't be the one who's surprised. I think they must all be dying of shock, though.
Like leads back like, oh, like fanning herself like, oh,
Oh, that shade. Did it just get dark in here? Yeah.
Mhm.
So fucking smug. On the bright side, perhaps an active example of the difference it makes, and the presence of those who are capable of putting it through will make for a grand change that was long overdue.
exactly.
She does glance over, kind of does the little glance up and down thing. Thinks about it. I know what David will say, but would you be agitated if I brought the bird?
Oh yeah, the twitch.
There it is.
I don't trust him.
He serves his purpose.
He serves his purpose to lie. I don't
His
trust that.
purpose is to spy. His purpose is to bring us information.
Bring information that he deems that who's useful. Currently to him we're useful, and one day we won't be.
I get the distinct impression that the only other person who might have tried to tell him what to do besides what he wished is, well, in the midst of being mourned.
And there's someone behind her, clearly, as David mentioned, so it won't be long before they have him wrapped around their finger. I don't trust that.
Would you like me to extract a vow of loyalty?
I don't need vows. People betray them.
Broken oaths are no small thing.
Anyone can break an oath, they just don't have. It's a lot easier than they think.
They can, and it will haunt them for the rest of their days.
Like I said, I don't trust him.
Strangely enough, with what little I have seen of his nature, what little I know of their nature, I trust him to do as he was meant to do. He is not claws and teeth. He is a pair of eyes.
Well, just leans back. Just gives a shrug.
He is no Shadow Lord. It's a meaningful glance.
No.
If that provokes something, because there does seem to be a little trend there.
No, but he deals with them, and he's a lackey. I don't trust it.
He deals with those who will deal with him.
Just gives a shrug, like, yeah. I've dealt with enough liars, enough now for the past year. I'm not ready to deal with another one.
Lies and secrets are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
The Shadow Lords are known for lying. My people are the ones known for secrets.
He's not your people. She makes it just a very, like, it's just like a sword cut. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that was brisk. No, but he is not theirs either.
And he's not our people. That guy does that, like, slow glance over, like, yeah, I fucking said it.
He is not.
So why should I trust that?
Why do you trust Jacqueline?
She's at least a guy in Guru.
She has done more damage than he has. And she is one who's sworn to us. He is not.
He says I trust Jacqueline.
Wine
Okay.
sip. Whoa.
Just gonna, just gonna.
The little Mufasa as she's like, ooh, behind the glass, just
Jacqueline is a victim that needs help. She needs care and attention. That does not mean I trust her. And even then, victims aren't always going to be needing help. And even when they especially don't realize it, that does not mean you give trust to it because they will manipulate it.
I was going to ask, is she a victim who needs help or a victim who wants you to believe her?
Defensive mechanisms are a thing, and self-preservation and self-manipulation are common among that. She needs help, but not in the case of we need to sit her down and comfort her. She needs to face reality. But in order to do that, she has to learn that she cannot lie and pander and tell you what they want to hear to face that reality. She may need help, Featherlight, but it's not the help that you think or want to think. I don't trust her because the first inclination is to lie. She's already proven that to me.
It's just kind of like the It's the taking it in, like, oh, you really have grown. So proud.
Black Fury. It's just jazz hands. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's just, oh, you really are growing up. Look at you. Look at you.
Abuse victims like her are something that I might have been specially trained to handle, Featherlight, even as an Aaron.
An admirable.
We have to learn to heal the wounds as much as we rend them to pieces. Our tribe are as much healers as they are warriors. We don't simper and bow like children of Gaia. We don't hold the knife in their back like they do as well. Just a sip. You know, I'm just gonna leave that there. You know what I mean? But no, to answer your question, who says I trust Jacqueline? I never did.
No, you did not.
I sympathize. I wish for her to heal, but many victims who have suffered abuse or suffered some form of abuse in their lives have learned a defensive mechanism to lie because it is easier than facing reality. Until she can do that. Just bleh. Do you know what I mean? You gotta give that, like, I mean, she's not playing it off. It's kind of that, you know, what the fuck do you want me to do? You know what I mean? Not much I can do with it, really. It's like, she leans over, it's like a drug addict. You want to help them, but you're not going to trust them with your wallet, are you?
I suppose not.
No, because you know they'll do what they need to do to get what they want. And what she wants is the idea of love and affection and the need of it from her perspective, and so I'm not giving it to her.
My eyebrows pop a little bit like, oh.
Not in the way she thinks, not in the way she demands. Because then you're not actually helping her, are you?
No, I suppose not.
As if well, there you go.
Do you know what I mean?
Sudden, very Irish thought crosses her.
But hate it, river dances away.
Sorry, rubber dances away. Or Timmy, no.
Jeez, no, just give us a shrug. Many of my tribe believe that we Furies have several more additional tenets of the litany, and one of those is to train the weak, as much as we protect the helpless.
And what is the difference between the weak and the helpless?
The helpless cannot help themselves, the weak choose not to.
No, she seems sated by that, just like, oh, good, yes.
So, but no, I don't. Going back to the original point, she like rolls her hand over, like blah blah blah. I don't trust him.
Hmm. No. He sits back a little bit, like, oh, well, in that case, thanks for the answer, dear buddy pal friendo.
What kinks?
Just gonna sip this wine, thanks.
Do you think the others would?
I think that the others find him a very easy thing to point at to blame all their woes instead of taking responsibility.
Nod.
I do not think he is blameless or flawless, but I do not think he is as bad, as malicious or conniving as he is credited for. He certainly has a way with things. But no, he is not everything they think he is.
Just gives a shrug.
And he has, for all that he did wrong before, believing that he was doing something that was in the right, he has since proven a willingness to risk life and limb to bring information that we need, to gain information that we need.
I still, that doesn't mean he earns my trust.
It's a bit of a, it's that weird accepting shrug. I'm like, no, of course not. If trust was so easy to earn, it would be earned and broken many times a day. It just means you're wise enough not to trust over the course of a single action, or without proof that it is worth being earned. I do not fault you.
Just a nod.
How many of yours would you bring?
Just my kinfolk. Layla, no. Well, Layla would be expecting me to bring them. We've been together now for a long time, so Alexios and Phoebe. Just my kinfolk. I'm certainly not leaving them here.
No. No, of course not. Especially not when we are going to where your people are present. It doesn't even make sense.
It's not, but yeah, that's about it. That's all she seems comfortably. It's like, yeah, no, just my kinfolk, nobody else.
Let me just. Here. And the others. How many do you think they would try to bring along?
Well, I would preface that we all need some way to travel. We need to account for the kinfolk, so if we all hop on a fucking moon bridge, I'm not leaving my kinfolk behind. And we're not all affording a fucking double-decker bus now, are we?
I have seen those on television, but never on the street. Are they real?
Apparently, I've never been to London.
Yeah, there's just kind of the smile of like, is that real? I'm never sure with the TV, but are those real?
So we would need something that would be able to fit us in, fit them in. Something that probably realistically would be able to, because I don't know about you, Featherlight, but I can't exactly walk into a B&B and be going, "Hi, put me up for the night," without being arrested due to the curse. So we'll probably need to get one of those large RVs, I believe they're called.
I think so.
So in Florida, we had one of the old style hippie vans, but there was only 4 of us. So there's myself, you, Jacqueline. This is me accounting if we'll have people coming. So myself, you, David, Jacqueline, Alexander, Phoebe, Alexios. That's the max. Now, I don't think any of Alexandra's people will come because they're all tied down anywhere, and she's hardly going to uproot them. At least with my kinfolk, we can move and go as we please. Alexios is a craftsman. That's a universal trait. He can get a job anywhere. And Phoebe, she can adapt pretty much to any surrounding.
What does Phoebe do
She cooks.
professionally?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just kind of like oh. I mean, I know she cooks here, but oh. Idly scratches under her chin because yes, under the chin. Very valid skill sets, both of them.
This or not.
Very good.
So we'll just need something that can house that and can keep us moving. And we'll just need the money for gas, but Wyoming's actually not that far from here. I think it's just a state across. Or up, or whatever. Just a bit, do you know what I mean?
You think that's how we'd need to travel? Or would the rest of us? And she just kind of makes a little, like, the little running motion with the fingers.
What about them?
They would still have to take something conventional.
It's dangerous along the roads.
Is it that dangerous to drive?
It's dangerous for them, and I'd rather be close. Besides, sightseeing is fun.
puzzled glance. Like, what?
Well, we can go and run and all that, but a bunch of wolves wandering around is going to raise more than enough questions, Featherlight.
Just that annoyed. Oh, we have to go civilized places. Why can't I just?
So when we get out to more open country, we could probably pull that off, but I don't think there's that much like of a dense wolf population. You have to remember, right?
Well, he does goes to do the grumpy sip, realizes she has sipped her way through that entire glass. Like, fuck. Well, at least by the time we get to Yellowstone, there will be a natural enough occurrence that it will not draw the eye.
Mm-hmm. She just nods, but sometimes you have to learn to blend in with the crowd. You don't have to put on the weaver jacket. You just have to make sure that they don't see you.
Just kind of the grumpy, put on the weaver jacket every day. Ugh, you can't grumpy sip them, but puts the wine glass down after the second attempt to sip and realizing, oh shit, it's empty and I'm just holding it. Yeah. So there, on the coffee table, lie not only a poor empty glass, but a pile of 7 plates, which I still can't get over. Oh. God, that's fantastic. Would you like to join us, sir?
David has taken a gallon jug and filled it with Coca-Cola. God help us all the day he discovers Gatorade. He just kind of wanders down in clothes he doesn't normally wear. It looks like he just kind of took some jeans and then slapped on whatever shirt was the ass end of laundry day. He looks dead. Smells dead. Look on his face as he kind of feels half dead. Oh, shit. What time is it?
It's I don't know. I kind of lost track of myself. She gives a smirk, ruffling her hair.
It's a helpful glance over. It is the truly terrifying window between daytime and nighttime.
David walks over to the kitchen window and stares out of it, squinting, what?
It's evening. That's pretty much it. She has no idea what actual hour it is, but I mean, it is past the peak of daytime. The sun is getting to the point where it is beginning to dim. It's evening. You just wanted to be an asshole.
He eventually comes to his own assessment. Sits down at the table.
Microwave fucking clock. Very well.
Yeah, that thing he should have just started with. Yeah. Though it might be inaccurate knowing these guys,
We haven't broken the microwave yet.
Yeah.
Sits down at the table with his insult to water.
What is he drinking?
He took Coca-Cola and put it in a fucking gallon jug so he wouldn't have to keep getting Coca-Colas.
I just like to imagine that he poured it from a 2-liter bottle into a gallon jug just to be an asshole.
Maybe. You don't know.
Just the glance
You have
over.
no idea what he did.
Another nose wrinkle of, Finally points at the jug. Are they it's all the same flavor?
Yeah. The raspberry doesn't come in 2 liters, so I had to make my own.
The scrunch face again.
No, all the weird ones just come in cans. Don't worry, they're all in the recycling.
Sorry, say again?
Said, don't worry, they're all in the recycling. Because, I mean, if you imagine him with a funnel So, I think I've been asleep literally since we got home.
Take a shrug.
Have you?
Yeah, getting blown up really takes it out of you, Featherlight.
Do you feel less dead yet?
Nope.
Does it feel like to be dead?
I mean, when you're haggling with the fucking whatever that was, pretty weird.
A goddess of war, death, and fertility. I imagine it could
Yeah,
stay.
you weren't the one who was getting touched all over by the goddess of war, death, and fertility. Okay, that was me.
He's so fucking grumpy about it too. It tickles her. She can't help it. No, I was not. My apologies. Honored Alpha.
I can only imagine what kind of hijinks led to some ancestor of mine bonking the moon.
Moons can be very ephemeral things. Especially depending on the moon phase. Very mercurial creatures. I imagine during some phase or another they appealed very nicely.
I imagine so.
Just a eh.
Thinking about what we're gonna do next.
Have you come to play the What If game with us?
What shit is that? What we're doing?
A little shrug. She glanced over to me like, I'm not making light of this. Seemed like a good way to say it.
I mean, it's not what if for me. She gives a shrug.
I mean, like, I have enough money right now to kind of do whatever the fuck I want for a long time. So I could literally quit my job like tomorrow. Be fine for a long time. I wonder if this is what Silverfangs feel like.
Could you get a double-decker bus? It's a bit of a smile because she still just thinks they're like, to her, double-decker buses are like unicorns. You see them in movies all the time, but you're never sure they're real. She's never seen a real one.
I mean, like, it would really cut into the longevity of my funds, but maybe.
The best part, she glances over to me with the like, oh, there you go. Look, problem solved. I have solved your problem. I am a wizard. Like
honestly, the thing that would just break ours, like, financially would be importing the goddamn thing.
Squint.
I mean, also, it's a bus.
Yes.
It's expensive.
It's double a bus. That is why it's called a double decker.
Yeah, I mean, like, there'd be a lot of places we couldn't go because of the height issue.
They're like kind of brown it of like, what?
I'd have to get, like, a license to even drive it.
But you have a license.
Yeah, but you need a different license to drive something that big.
Why?
It's such a wildly different vehicle that it requires you to learn all over again.
Like an annoyed frown.
We'd have to
Fine.
import it. We'd have to account for the fact that, like, I'd be having to order, like, European parts. It's another fat chunk of change.
She probably like kind of like starts flapping a hand over at David, like, no, I don't like this answer anymore.
This no longer suits me.
Pretty much I don't like this anymore. You just stop doing that. You're not making me happy anymore. Like flap, flap, flap. He answers back door to me. What was the other one?
For which?
Not the double decker bus.
RV.
What about
Now,
that?
that's a lot easier to do.
Oh,
Still have to get another license. Which, me getting another, you imagine me taking the class? Bunch of normal people. That turned to fucking individual lessons real quick.
you know what? Hold on a second. Oh, hey, it's the first result. Most states do not require a special license for an RV weighing under 26,000 pounds.
Really? I thought you had to get like a Class C license.
No, only if it's fucking massive.
I mean, there are 5 of us.
And 2 kinfolk.
David just looks at Featherlight. I would have to get a Class C license.
So frown.
I mean, unless one of the kinfolk wanted to learn how to drive it.
Probably Alexius can drive it.
Does he already have that license?
He might.
I wouldn't put it past him. He's a pretty handy guy.
I mean, he was the one who drove the RV, our hippie van, so.
I mean, have you seen our been in an RV, or Timmy?
Just give us a shake overhead.
It's like a house on wheels, man. It's a far cry from cramming in the back of a van.
Just give us a shrug with me. It's
I mean, you know,
But he's less likely to scare an entire class of people away, isn't he? Glance
He
over,
is.
like, I see your point, but I counter it with this point.
look, I'm not dog mouthing it. It'd be a lot fucking easier on all of us.
Way easier.
It's got its own set of issues, but given where I think we're headed, it makes shit easier, like a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the pros outweigh the cons here. Plus, it's got an indoor bathroom and
I do.
portable water. I mean, like, yeah, if we can pull our resources, or better yet, just shake Alexandria until something falls out of her pockets.
I could go into her pockets.
I'm just kidding. The money's not just going to fall out of her pockets. It's not like there's a credit card with a limit that high.
Well, no, it wouldn't fall out of her pockets. It would come out of the underwear drawer.
We'll see. I don't know so much about her resources, honestly. I get that she's a Silverfang, but also she lives here. From what I hear, she works a job like I do.
Just a nod, like, huh.
I mean, think about what we know about her wing of the family. They don't sound like a part of one of the great houses that's doing so hot. More title than land, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, this probably might be a good opportunity for her.
Yeah. And I can chip in a considerable amount, good of the pack and all. If we count the cost of the RV and all that nuts and bolts shit that I know just bothers the living fuck out of Featherlight.
There's a blank.
You want to hear me go through expenses?
No.
That's what I thought.
Doesn't Plastic Warrior owe someone us a favor? Can't you make him make the RV appearance?
He does owe Jacqueline a favor too, so let's double the favors.
There. She waves a hand at David like, there, now we don't have to talk about it. Ugh!
It's plausible. What I'm saying is I've got enough cash on hand that we could probably sustain through the course of this mission, assuming we're going to Yellowstone.
Yeah, we'll probably stop off at Wyoming. That's where Layla is, so that's where we're heading. That's where I'm heading anyway.
Not alone, you're not.
Just give us a shrug. Depends on what people do.
Oh, fuck that. I'm going with you.
Just nods like, oh, okay. Just like, okay, sweet.
There's a fleeting told you so kind of look takes place.
But,
Yeah,
ah!
I told you so, and she was like, "That's it, I'm leaving. Quit forever."
Walks off.
Actually,
Each strike of her heel against the ground. A shotgun blast. But,
you there, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm going with you. Made up my mind about that.
Let's give us a nod. All right. Are you ready to handle a bunch of Black Furies?
I can be personable.
Good.
I'm not gonna lie, the sticker's probably in character too, just because. Not that the light knows anything about being personable, but
I mean, all mistrust aside, as long as I don't start getting up to bad shit and making weird illusions, probably manage.
Yeah, as long as you're not a dick, you should be fine.
There we go. Then I can be not a dick.
Mm-hmm. And as long as you don't do your evil mustache twirling laugh, I think most Furies will relax around you. To keep that to a minimum. I know you like to do that often.
My propensity for growing facial hair is well known.
I wouldn't run them. They're quite abhorrent to it. Seeing as we can't grow any.
Are you sure ladies can't grow mustaches?
Well, look, we probably could, but we just associate it with Shadow Lord, so
Okay.
and get offenders. So
I mean, yeah, but like the Get Offender's facial hair game is on a different level.
oh yeah, no, we associate with two different things. One is evil mustache swirling, and one is rapid insecurity.
not with violent insecurity.
Those beards, though.
So, as long as you don't go doing any stupid shit, you should be fine.
No, that's me. Jumping in long boats with my beard oil. In real trouble here, Artemi.
It honestly might be Alexandria who might get herself more in trouble because she's a silver fang.
I mean, she's a ragabash. People don't tend to slap first with them.
No. Just make sure Jacqueline doesn't. We should be fine.
That's a slap first situation.
It depends on what she says.
Depends on who's right next to her.
She gives that kind of wince, like striking a woman in front of a bunch of Black Furies.
Aren't you all supposed to be equal and shit?
We are. But some Shadow Lord laying the smack down. She gives the playful tongue stick out. And there's
You hit
different.
her.
And then there's different tendencies in our tribes. Each have different beliefs. Thankfully, hopefully, we won't be dealing with the extreme ones, so you should be fine.
Oh yeah, that. As he drinks more of his soda.
There are some who are like that. It's not as rampant as you think.
I mean, it creates questions that I probably don't want the answers to.
And you just get a shrug. It's not as rampant as you think. I can just tell you that for a base fact.
I mean, I fucking hope not.
Well, why?
Because I'm a man, Artemi.
So,
Look, when other tribes hear about extreme views in the Black Furies, we imagine some young man scared, alone in the world, running, till he's shot to death by arrows, because he went on the Black Fury land.
Well,
That's the kind of boogeyman shit you get to hear about. You're out in the world.
then the young
So-
man shouldn't have stepped on our land.
I guess not. Did they
So-
erect a sign?
Besides, at least we're not red talons.
More likely the young man did something very disagreeable and put himself.
Exactly. Normally we use the arrows hunting. That's for something else. We normally skin them. The guys with this little smirk on their face.
Oh, fucking great.
But no, we don't hunt down men just because they have a wobbly penis. We hunt them down for various other reasons, David.
I was about to go in an entire line of questioning about penis wobblitude and the various like echelons that.
And I could give you
Guys.
an expert answer of our incredibly serious discussions on girth and length of why we should kill this man because of his penis.
Probably could. You're a very confident person, even if you're just making it up.
Well, maybe I am. Maybe I've had lessons about, the penis judging in my Black Fury life.
Horses, really.
Mm-hmm. Pegasus came down and told me that I must be judged on the girth and length of a man's penis. She gives an eye roll that is I could tip the axis off its son.
No, no shit about that.
No, there are some extremes in every tribe. However,
Yep.
we should be fine. Layla has a tendency to be aggressive, but that is towards the Shadow Lords. But they're,
Mhm.
to be fair, most of the Shadow Lords, she's broken their jaw or done bad. They've deserved it.
Yeah, some of my brothers and sisters have left a lot to be desired.
There are bad examples of every tribe. No one in my tribe is perfect.
No, I'll reserve judgment.
But no, it is merely the. I have some concerns, but we should be all right, as long as there's no Medusa back. You gotta just like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! If there's a Medusa pack, stay behind me.
Okay.
Don't look at them. Don't even address them. Just stay behind me.
Will do.
Just gives a nod, like, "Yep, that's good. That's a good boy." Good. If you kind of glances over at Featherline, some may look at you strangely because you're a Metaspawn, but you should pass relatively safely through.
I think you will find I'm very accustomed to strange looks.
I'm just giving you the rundown. Thankfully, we take Metaspawn of our own tribe a bit more harshly than we do of other tribes. Pegasus and all that. She kind of gives her hand wave like that.
But that's a little finger point. Unlike some tribes. Oh, at least you keep half of them.
Well, we keep the male metas.
Half is better than none.
They're just nods. The female metas are usually, well, they can join Pegasus. It's just we don't do what the Fianna do. We just hold them to a higher standard under Pegasus's watch.
You're telling me there are female Metis Black Furies on this earth?
Not.
I'm a little glad. It's like, what, you're surprised?
Dude, I thought they all just got thrown in a trebuchet.
No. They're either trained to become a righteous warrior of Pegasus, or they are given to the children of Gaia.
Even the Fianna, contrary to popular belief, don't kill all of them.
Everybody's just eating their unwanted kids into the children of Gaia.
Because nobody else. Well, she's like, I'm gonna stop. Nope, nope, nope. Because the children of Gaia are used to accepting weakness.
I mean, bone Nars do it.
Well, the bone Nars are less than trash, so.
Yeah.
Bonars will take anything.
Mm-hmm. And we don't give anything to the bone Nars, so they live in the cities and they are very coated in the Weaver's filth.
Gaia, there are a lot of the fuckers, though.
Spiders do breed.
In here, I thought you'd at least stick to rats. That was
Ura, again, I grew up on Mira, which was I want you to imagine, kind of leans forward. You Americans call it the Bible country.
Well, yeehaw.
Mm-hmm. So I have a very negative opinion. Most are not too bad. Although a few glasswalkers are loathsome. But most are not too bad. But no, just if there's a Medusa pack there, stay behind me. They will come at me, not you.
Jesus.
Medusa packs do not tolerate your gender at all. They might even walk out of the cairn itself.
Well, damn.
Do you not like you just it can be that serious sometimes.
Yeah, we will flip that particular hate pancake when we get there.
It should not be too bad. They will either they will just
broad yawn. Forked tongue does slide out for part of it, though she finally, leaning over on her Timmy, does look over to David. Don't worry, I'll protect you. And smiles.
Oh,
if we're lucky, it'll be Itseme, and Itseme will they'll mostly try to challenge you to an arm wrestle or something to show you that they are just as strong as you, and that you, like them, will respect their strength.
it's the fucking 90s. What do they think I'm gonna do?
Flex.
They're flexing. They started this.
So yeah, but you bought into it. That means you have to prove that your dominance over them. So arm wrestle, David.
Yeah, this
Arm
is either
wrestle.
going to end in a broken elbow or pregnancy.
Typically both.
Oh, great.
But no, you should be fine.
All right.
She just gives a grin. And if it's a Hell in the Pack, you're going to be their best friend.
Sorry, what?
Helena. She's one of the more liberal totems.
So we've gone all the way from don't look at them to instant besties.
Mm-hmm. There is those who believe that we are equal, that in order to follow some of our codes of remembering your parents, that cannot be the mother, that also has to be the father, because it takes two to the two-step boogie. And both have equal responsibility. So you cannot teach the children of the wild and of Gaia without counterbalance between the both.
Well, okay.
And there are others who take a more exemplar view of some of the various crimes done to people and have righteous anger over that. She just gives a very even spread of her hands. Myself, I would be more in the middle. I would center on Ciento of the Medusa totem line, which is listen to both sides and find the balance between.
Well, this has been educational.
Well, you asked, and it's important to realize.
You know, like how many black fairies are out there, Timmy?
There's a lot of us, David.
I know.
It's almost
I just didn't expect it to be Wyoming.
It's wild. Wild country. On the border of Canada, too.
the hands splay out because the more you know.
This is like back when that was pertinent.
But no. Wyoming, it's on the border, the Canadian border, and it's wild. So, we're there. Might even meet some southern people. She gives a smirk. The activity's like, yeah, this is going to be educational.
Oh. Bon voyage, comfort zone. That's cool, though. It's not Red Hounds.
No. She's like, oh, no.
Though I'm sure they're around somewhere.
Oh, don't worry. They'll be around eventually.
Taking up their Red Talon thoughts about murder.
I mean, Layla and I did have plans to head beyond Montana and head into Canada itself, and oh boy, it's either the Wendigo or the Red Talons will be meeting.
I mean, like, at least the Wendigo put up with you guys.
Oh yeah, they like us.
Yeah, the Red Talons is the universal just. Blah, 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 blah.
Unless you're a lupus. But then you're a slave chain.
Well, considering that my last act on this earth was blowing up a lupus,
You know, there's the part where you just don't mention that.
I won't.
Good plan. Very solid.
I'm not even sure they wanted to talk to begin with.
Truly a Machiavellian mastermind.
Maybe I'll talk to you, Featherlight. Maybe that'll be what does it.
There's a glance. Do you think I've never encountered her at Talon?
I don't know.
I will give you one whole piece of information for free. Acts like this is the most magnanimous thing she has ever done.
Well, thank you, Featherlight. Wouldn't that be the fucking...
Oh, Jesus.
What a fucking long con. Oh my god.
It would explain so much.
Like that obvious femur. Well, as long as we hide certain other members of the party. And Featherlight shines as our diplomatic star. Then we will have no fears in Talon Country.
They usually mark the territory. You can smell it.
They do.
Yeah,
They
okay.
mark it very, very clearly if you are looking or know what to look for.
Well, you just have to settle for the Amazons, David. All of us.
I am just going to have to settle for the Amazons. And with some of these stories, either I'm just going to have to use you as a tower shield, which thank God you're tall.
Oh, Layla's just as tall as me.
Great, the both of you can stand right the fuck in front of me.
I think I'm. Yeah, she's 6'4". I'm 6'5".
Or I'm going to go missing for about 12 hours after somebody declares, "It time snoo snoo."
Well, thankfully you're not on my home set. You would have loved Jocasta. She was a big girl, bigger than me.
That was her attitude in the world.
She was in a rune who liked two things: fighting and fucking.
Oh.
Sometimes both at the same time.
I am a
Fuck
guru.
fighting.
I can't do that other thing with her ever.
Mm-hmm. And then there was her sister. Who liked fighting,
Statistically,
who liked fighting and fucking as a
Mhm.
kinfolk.
great.
Oh, they would have loved you as the.
Can't even remember. Oh, yeah. 2 years. Jesus, it's been a while.
And are you still going on your date with the ghetto friend? She leans back like that, judging, like.
Heinrich is a friend.
Fucking stare.
Mm-hmm.
Heinrich is a friend. It's just a date.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've heard about the tragic things that could happen on dates.
Look,
You know?
it's like a first date. Nothing happens on the first date.
The fucking stare. Does it? Does it really not, David?
Nothing happens on the first date, Featherlight.
She's a ghetto Fenris.
So there'll
So when you come back and tell me she tried to conquer you.
So there will be like a smorgasbord. This is the most involved thing that could possibly happen.
She'll lay siege to your village, David. Good luck.
If the village is like a dinner table,
No.
she's not going to try to jump my bones first date.
You know, Phoebe hasn't been on a date in a while. She just says, looking off, like, oh, well, you know.
Yo, like Phoebe's first impression of me was like, go get the shotgun.
You know, you could go talk to her, David.
There are
Could.
impressions that one can make after the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now, you guys are putting up with it because we've been inundated with weird shit on a daily basis, but I'm still like deadish.
You could just walk up to her and just be like, hey, you know, be nice. Your
She
charming self.
The convenience of not knowing that you smell like a dead man.
Exactly.
See, if anything, she's working with an advantage.
I mean, my palate is so fucking warped, I couldn't even tell that it'd be like.
She also can cook.
Okay. Just glance over the plates.
Well, look, the date would happen regardless because I said, yeah, I'll do it. But I am not averse to speaking with your kinfolk, Artemi.
I mean, as long as you're nice to her, I don't mind.
I don't really have call to be mean to a kinfolk.
Good. You could just try talking to her. She's, you know, a nice person. And would be good for you.
I'm sure.
Oh, she is. She likes redheads.
He just kind of ruffles his own hair like, oh.
Oh. And I did hear her mention that you have really marvelous cheekbone structure.
What is it with people and cheekbones?
They're quite defining.
Like, I got all this going on, and he just kind of like does a sweeping gesture towards like his torso.
Oh, she mentioned that, but you know, I didn't want to stroke your ego.
Oh, okay.
You know, I thought I'd go for something niche.
How about you, Featherlight? You got any like cousins you want to throw at me?
Mhm.
Cousins, distant or otherwise. I'm not going to say siblings.
It's a quirk of a smile.
Where's that silver fang, though?
Would you like to meet my family, David? Just the yes, give me this present.
It's certainly on the table, Featherlight. Been packed for a while.
How delightful. I will keep it in mind.
Latin chanting starts playing in the background.
We're just gonna wait just long enough for you to forget that you ever did this. And then the regret sets in.
But yes, Artemia, I will be a gentleman, and I will speak with. Okay, so let me try to nail this down. Phoebe, related to you, is like cousin?
No, she's not related.
Oh, she's just kind of in your camp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She calls me her sister because that's kind of what we do in the shores, you know.
All right. I was.
It's a term of endearment. So, Layla is my blood sister. Just, actual blood. You see. But no, I've claimed Phoebe because, well, she wanted to be claimed. And she is, she's a bit older than me. She's 26.
A bit older than me too.
Nothing wrong with a mature woman, David. She gives a wink.
I gotta think about like kinfolk, right? They tend to outlive us, so I wonder like. Certain point, it's not like you're even like dating your peers, you know.
I mean, Layla and I share the same father, but not the same mother. It's kind of how it is.
Yeah.
You not gonna live long, so you visit the kinfolk. Next guru visits that same kinfolk. Babies.
Huh. You imagine if there's like one dude and he's got like all these daughters, but they don't really know him because it's they're hanging out with dad.
I mean, that's what happened with my dad.
Then they like
Yeah.
track him down and he has to like get out a 3-ring binder.
That's what happened with my dad. They brought Layla over to our farm. He had to raise the two of us.
Huh.
Two
Slime is
gigantic.
killing me.
Just imagining that. That's for the line. I'm sorry.
Hey.
Why, did your parents ever do that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my parents are both like, not guru
Oh, unknowing. Okay.
or something. So no, I didn't really take part in those hijinks. I mean, shit. I was a convenience store clerk, to me.
Just not.
First day in the fucking slushy machine, it didn't work. Got nothing but people complaining about that goddamn slushy machine. Register didn't work either. I was the only guy there. Someone was supposed to be training me. They didn't show up. Cameras didn't work, which is good when I think about it. You give me all the money in the register. I can't open the register, and you got real impatient. That Smart doesn't exist anymore. I hope. Would have cleaned it all up, Artemi.
I don't know.
But believe it or not, I still had to file them on my taxes. I did get paid for that day.
Hmm.
And nobody really investigated into the incident. I was obviously there. I clocked in. That Smart's a terrible place. It's a terrible chain. Just imagine they replaced me with somebody else who had to stand the wreckage and say, "Welcome to S-Mart." So you know what did survive? The fucking hot dog machine. All shelves were fucked. The slushy machine to breathe its last. That goddamn register was finally open. But what kept whirring away with overdone francs? About as long as my forearm in some cases. The hot dog machine. Just silently rotating mystery meat into the night.
Sounds like shit.
Yeah, it was shit.
Are your stories really depressing? She kind of leans back.
I don't know, man. Like,
So far.
it's kind of how shit down there was.
She just rubs her face. It's like standing up. Oh, well, hopefully it'll go well then, and we'll figure out what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, she just gives Fairlight the pat in the head. Well, I better go back upstairs. I think Alexios is waking up. So, yeah, jogs upstairs.
Just the glance of like, oh, you betrayed me for the dick. See how it is? Just the fucking the scandalized look. Betrayed for the day. Proceeds to flop across Artemi's spot on the couch like, fine! Kind of tips her head around to David. So no hesitation. You're going to Yellowstone.
Yep.
Why? Why would you do that?
This is trippy.
That was really trippy. You're about to be grounded. Nowhere else you'd rather be?
Nope.
Is it for yourself or for her? Because it's not for the rest of us.
I said I was going, so I'm going.
That's it.
Oh my god, that gif.
Are you going to say it's for the nation?
I mean, technically it is Featherlight.
And why don't you want to specify?
Because I'm an international man of mystery, Featherlight.
If you give me a clear answer, I'll tell you what that bone is.
It's for Timmy.
It's my mother's.
Stops what he was doing and looks over at Featherlight.
Did you think I would treasure some human's bone? Keep it so clean and separate from the others?
This is pretty far outside of my wheelhouse, Featherlight.
It is. But I thought you deserved the reward. Starts to kind of like clam herself up. Ugh, blah. Being ambushed. Sorry, all the beep boops startled me. Oh,
It's
she
okay.
does pick herself up. Any other questions?
At this point, no. Give me a couple of days to recover fully.
The truth can be much worse than not knowing. Goes by and like even does a little doot on the end of his nose as she passes.
Just rubs
Heading
his
towards
face
the-
like,
Why are you so weird?
ah.
And with that, Featherlight will just go ahead and ease her way out the back. Heading-
There's left on the couch. It's Coca-Cola.
And a pile of plates that are that fucking Featherlight did not take to the sink.
Just looks at them like, you motherfucker, you distracted me. Yo, I'm not dealing with this. Yo, I'm not dealing with this, Featherlight.
Oh, she clearly can't hear you. Listen to how she's not answering. She must be out of fucking range.
You know what? Maybe I don't smell that much of like that guy. Hey, Phoebe, you in?
Oh,
It's a good time to end it,
how'd
isn't
you
it?
get there? That was great.